Hi, I'm Christian Levy with miracleofyoga.com. Here's a quick tip for the most common physical ailment in the world, low back pain. So many people have low back pain. Now, you've all seen the modified downward facing dog, I hope. It's the pose that I teach in my 7 secret videos. If you have not learned this pose, this is one of the best things you can do for low back. And get my 7 free videos. They're short, they're really good, they're informative. They'll teach you how to do this pose correctly. That pose you can do at any time during the day. You don't have to carve time away for yoga. You can get many repetitions in. And every time you do it, you're going to feel better. And if you have low back problems, it's a great, great pose that can literally help you fix the problem, if not alleviate pain. Now, everybody's seen this pose where you bend your knees to your chest and then you do one leg at a time. This pose is a decent pose. It's not going to have a big effect on low back pain. However, if you get a rope involved and you get someone pulling the top of the thighs back while you do that pose, it's extremely helpful. Here's how you do it. I've got this fancy little rail right here, but you can take a yoga belt and you can make a knot in one end, and you can put that end under a door and shut the door so the knot is on the other side of the door, and then you've got a loop coming out of the wall. And then you can put another yoga belt on that loop if you want. Here's how you use the rope. It's quite nice to have a partner to pull the rope for you. You can switch, but it's even better to be able to do it off. Now I'm slightly to the side of the sticky mat here because you want to make sure that your body, your spine is in line with that knot or where the rope comes out of the wall. So the rope goes around the top of the thighs right at the hip crease. And then it's kind of strange at first because you have to move your body back away from the wall, which tightens the belt. And then it's not until you actually bend the knees to the chest that you can see if you have the correct distance from the wall. The belt should be pulling, giving a traction on the top of the thighs. It should be very obvious, but it shouldn't be painful. So you literally want that rope as tight as it can comfortably be. Don't let the chest collapse. Roll the shoulders back to the floor, lift the chest up. Stay in that with both legs to the chest for a little while. Then you take one leg all the way out of the rope. You put the rope just on the hip crease of one leg. The opposite leg straightens on the floor, and this knee bends to the chest. Now again here, you can't tell exactly where the right position is until you give it a guess. Then when you bend the knee to the chest, you can tell. It has to be tight. You should get that belt nice and tight, but at the same time, it should not be uncomfortable. Shoulders back, chest up. And then you switch sides. Now my knot is off to the side here, so it looks like I'm uneven on this sticky mat, but really I'm making sure that my body, the center of my body, is even to where that rope comes from the wall, so I get an even pull. This leg descends, this knee bends. Shoulders back, chest up. And then you go back to both knees. When you have both knees together, your body's a little closer to the wall. this is one of those therapeutic postures that feels like very little is happening. So if you try this and you're in it and you're saying, no big deal, whatever kind of thing, that is the right effect. It's working for you. If you have low back problems, you'll feel good. You'll love the pose. It'll feel great. So people who have back issues, they love the pose. They can tell it's doing wonders for them. And people whose backs don't really bother them so much, or if yours does, but it's in a good place, the pose won't feel like it's doing all that much. It's a great therapeutic pose. It really helps balance the hips and the pelvis and the muscles of the lower back. That's what's going on here. It really can fix and correct when the back is out or when you have a lot of soreness. The key is you have to do repetitions. Has to be comfortable, you have your good alignment, all these obvious basic things. But in this one, you have to do repetitions. So even if you don't feel a whole lot of effect from the pose, just relax. It's an easy, relaxing, enjoyable pose. Do a bunch of repetitions. Do both legs. I like to stay there for a little while. Then do back and forth with the single knees to the chest. Go back to both. The more repetitions you can do, the better. Add it with your modified downward facing dog, and I guarantee if you do this every day, you will immediately feel a difference in your low back pain. Thanks for joining me. I'm Christian Levy with miracleofyoga.com.